Today's briefing focuses on the outcome of the Ofsted review into sexual abuse in schools and colleges. This follows a review undertaken between April and May across 32 independent and maintained schools. Over 900 pupils were involved in the review. Where has this stemmed from? From the Everyone's Invited website, where thousands of testimonials have been made public around children's lived experience. Now, involved in that website are nearly 3,000 schools who are named, 400 of which are primary schools. There were a number of outcomes from the review. Firstly, that sexual harassment and online sexual abuse is actually a commonplace, normalised experience for many children and young people. Senior leaders, as well as school staff, underestimated the issue of sexual harm in schools. And finally, pupils fed back very clearly that the relationships, sex and health education does not meet their needs. It doesn't reflect the lived reality for them, and on occasions they find the curriculum content patronising or indeed not age appropriate. The barriers as to why children don't come forward were also identified. Fear of what would happen next, understanding that teachers can't maintain confidentiality, but a lack of understanding of what that actually means in practice. Fear of damage to reputation. What would that mean amongst their peers if they were the snitch or the person that had passed information on? Forms of misplaced embarrassment about what was happening. And some pupils saying, actually, it's normal, so what's the point in even sharing the information in the first place? So what support is being provided for schools and indeed pupils? Well, the government has pledged to continue to support the NSPCC Sexual Harm in Schools helpline, and that will be open until the end of October 2021. There is also going to be a further rollout of the supervision for DSL's programme. Another 10 local authorities will be engaged, reaching over 500 schools. The DfE have said they're going to work on raising the profile of the role of the DSL, and also in line with that, ensuring that guidance is updated, utilising appropriate language and content that's reflective of the lived reality for children today. So what are the recommendations for schools in relation to the review? Well, firstly, to ensure there is specific training around sexual abuse for the whole school community, including governors. Secondly, to consider how do we develop a no-snitch culture in and amongst our pupils, that there isn't a fear of coming forward or a fear of repercussion. Consider our recording procedures and identify whether they are robust. What data do we hold? How is information being recorded? And what are we utilising that analysis for? What are our trends and how are we responding appropriately? A review of our RSHE curriculum. Is our content and our resource robust and reflecting the lived reality for children? And for those teachers who are rolling out the RSHE curriculum, have they been provided the relevant training and development to enable them to implement this effectively? And finally, considering working in partnership with other agencies. How do we ensure that their thresholds have been understood, that we are working within the multi-agency domain to ensure that these issues are being dealt with appropriately?